Let's see here. Are we good? Oh, probably gonna be a little bit here, but... Okay. Just make sure the chat's good. Oh, we're on standby on the chat. Oh. Konnichiwa minasan and welcome. Ora kekeri shibae. Oh. Now we're good to go. I would do the usual blast thing, but that prop's kind of been shipped off somewhere else. I gave that away for somebody who would find more use for that than me, honestly. As much as I like it. Still, we got ourselves another installment of Spyro ReIgnited Trilogy today, and hopefully we're gonna have a blast. Today, we're going off to Magic Crafters in the original game. Here we go. Now I know there's, and this, as a heads up, this will be the last stage when we're going to see all the regular egg thieves. The ones that are typically in blue. So, just as a heads up on that front. Maybe I don't need that light, actually. If you can see me, let me know in the chat. I can't tell. I have my laptop down here, so... Still. This could take a little bit. Hopefully you guys are able to sit back and enjoy. So yeah, sorry about the thing, but you can easily see the end right over there. The beauty about this, and the worlds in this stage, most of the time, they'll circle back on themselves in some degree. And I forgot to mention there's a map in the... Hey Sparks! There's a map in the lower left corner of the screen, in case you didn't notice. So it helps you keep track of where to go sometimes. Though I don't often look at that. It's just there if I need help with certain parts. Gotta get ready. Okay, that thief's a lot quicker to catch this time. 6 eggs. Okay, I think we're good on that. Don't bother going up there. There's no way we can make it up there if you're playing this game. I tried to get up there so many times before, it's not even funny. Actually, okay. Let me see how many eggs total there are, because I know there's a certain number of them. They don't show you, but once you're through with Magic Crafters, that's it. There's no more eggs. Not dragon eggs, anyway. Hey, good to see you, TB. And here's our first dragon. Cosmos. Welcome back, my man.
Welcome to Magic Crafters. I want you to release the dragons, reclaim our treasure, and recover the eggs from those pesky blue thieves.
Gotta admit, Cosmos looks a lot better here. When early scans from trailers showed one of the previous dragons in the first game, what? 100%ing, yes. Well, I'm going to see if I can anyway. But yeah, hey Muck. Now in terms of... Where was I? Oh yeah, little fun fact. When the game was first announced, there were some shots of a green dragon with a turban in Nestor's place. Hey, Sean. But yeah. The dragon with the turban at the start, which later turned out to be a dragon in Dark Hollow, that was originally thought to be Nestor. But then, because he was green, some thought he was Cosmos. Because there's no way Nestor would have looked like that. But Cosmos here looks a lot better, trust me. Okay, so the one annoying thief is up there, so as a heads up. Ooh, easy there, Buster. Ha! They even has that same classic sound effect. Ow. Like, a little nasally. This guy is the worst of these new thieves. Well, thankfully I memorized the pattern, so it's a lot easier to pick up on that, I think. Alright. Now, if you're wondering how you can get the gems without sparks, you're gonna have to actually step on them yourself. Ha! You can't mock me when you do that. Okay, cool. You're getting closer. Now, there's one more stage that you have to do in Spyro 2. I will show that here, but when you finish that up TV, you're going to have to do a little... I suggest the backtracking step, which unfortunately is very annoying. You gotta actually... Once you do Shady Oasis, you have to wait to... There's one mission where you need the head bash move. So, again, finish that up once you get the chance. I mean, you get the head bash before going to Shady Oasis, and if you do Shady Oasis, just try and do the talisman run. Don't bother with the orbs. In my opinion, it's a lot more satisfactory doing the orbs when you get the chance. Xantor, nice. Ooh.
When you see arrows like these, you can charge along with them to begin a supercharge.
Supercharge? Excellent!
Go ahead, try it.
I actually saw an episode of Boundary Break recently, and they showed that those cards actually do have some symbols on the backside. So, we're missing out on some stuff, but I guess it was programmed for something that wasn't there. You have to do... I mean, I recommend you do either... Oh, there's two speedways, actually, TV. You're gonna... If you want to do the speedways, be my guest, but you have to make sure that you do the speedways before you get that last talisman. Once you get that talisman, the game's gonna plop you right in front of Gulp's boss point. Now, as a heads up, a lot of kids when they started, they didn't know about the flight stages until they got to this point in the game like I did. So there's actually one of these stages in every homeworld, of course, but you don't learn about them until you rescue Boldar here.
This portal leads to a special place where you can learn to fly. I remember when I was a young dragon, earning my wings.
Learn to fly. Got it.
Right. Well, Spyro was a lot snarkier back then with Alice Rocky voicing him. You gotta walk over here. Watch out for the bolts. Nice. But yeah, you gotta do two speedways. There's one normal speedway in Autumn Plains when you... Ow! When you come across Allura in the main area. Well, you have to unlock them by gathering all the talismans. That's how that works. You don't just gather the you don't just, shoot, I can't speak. When you unlock those gates by getting the talismans themselves. That's how that works. Hold on. Got you, little goat. Alright. That's gonna be a hard flight to get to. I've often found myself having to charge my way there, but I found that you don't even need to use the supercharge, because you can just glide your way all the way over. Into this cave where you get the last gems. But yeah, like I said, TV, in order to get to the boss gate, you have to get all the talismans. And really, that's the easy goal for the Spyro games. You just get to the end of the stage and get the talismans. Though, unfortunately, if you paid attention to numbers, there's only 14 talismans within the first 2 homeworlds. So you gotta keep your eyes out for that. Anyways, we're gonna take a step back before we get to the balloonist. Wait, how am I missing that many gems? Oh, shoot, I forgot about that thing. Sometimes I forget some of these parts. I mean, it's only natural. When I was a kid, I've often played through the first 3 stages without knowing about how to get to the later stages, or just because I was too scared of beast makers for some reason. Got it! Oof! There's another set down here. There we go. Magic Crafter's homeworld complete! The charge jump is definitely helpful when you're trying to fast travel between the portals, especially in the first game here. And now, Alpine Ridge. That's our first world. I hope things are going well with you guys. I really can't tell because it may seem a little bit slow. Again, I know some people have recently had issues with the chat, so we got my laptop down here, like I said, just so I could see you guys. But yeah. Alpine Ridge. This is one of the few stages early on that I really felt like I had some trouble with. Excuse me. Okay, good. I'm just making sure. But did you get all the info that I said earlier about Spyro 2 TV? And these beasts, whew, they spooked me a lot as a kid. The thing's tossing Wumpa fruit at him. That wizard's tossing Wumpa fruit. Nice callback to Crash. Gotcha! Ah. Whew, that was close. Ah. Sometimes I've just stood in front of them to kind of tease the beasts into trying to roar, but eh. Get the talisman and Shady Oasis for now. Go back to any stage that requires the head bash. Yes, that's exactly what I suggest you do. And you can easily do any of the speedways at any time if you wish, but that's just my recommendation, to kind of get through as much as you can in on one run, unless you're doing just unless there's some stages that require moves in the next homeworld. We'll talk about this again when we get to Spyro 2, guys, but you'll see what happens. You kind of need to get through the home. God, those green druids are kind of annoying. And I forget that these guys can be armored, but they're also kind of annoying to aim at in this game for some reason. It's more fluent, yeah, but you kind of need the snap turns in order to get an idea where to go. Now, most players would jump right over here, but there's actually a spot over here that you can get to. You'll see how in a minute. Hey, Zane. How you doing?
Oh, Spyro! You're not afraid of those big, noisy, gigantic, awful beasts, are you?
Of course not.
Oh, good. I didn't think so.
I kind of feel like there may have been some mixed messages at points from the original version of the game. I don't know. It's like some lines are better in the original than they are here, and vice versa. Gotcha! Gotcha! Feels good to be bashing these guys again. Yay, another life! These guys. Okay, that's fine. And you usually do have to take a lot of time in figuring stuff out in Monster Hunter, I would imagine. Also, it's helpful to know that the YouTube chat is actually a lot more consistent in showing the full messages than on the PlayStation. Because if I just look here, right under my head, I would not be able to tell you guys, and you just said Iceborne, Sean. And here's how you can get back to that other area. Okay, yeah, there's apparently some delay between my footage up here and the chat, so that was another reminder for you guys, for those of you who are just jumping in. Gotcha! Huh. Yeah, you gotta be fast when these guys are using these things against you. And also make sure you use the left stick for sparks to keep track of every bit of gem if you want to 100% this game. Come on here. Gotcha, little ram. Got part where platforms are too high for me to jump in. Hippo. Well, there's a series of platforms that you gotta get back to first. Sometimes you gotta do that, sometimes there will be some rocks nearby, like coming from the green lava. You'll use that to... Okay, there you go. Eldred, nice to see you again.
Thank you for releasing me.
No idea why you plugged up your nose, but it's cool that you got your formulas on your wings so you don't forget. Thanks, girl. Oof. I kind of miss the larger boxes. It gives you a bigger hitbox to work with. Ooh, boy. Almost got hit by that guy. Ah! Got him. Sometimes you gotta be really careful, because you don't know where your aim's gonna be. More Wumpa Fruit! More Crash references! Ha! Got them both in one flame. That's something you don't see in the original game. I know! Ow! Yeah, I know, Muck. I often find myself being the more speed-focused guy. I find myself favoring speed and power more, so if I were to do Monster Hunter, I probably would go for the dual blades if I could, but I don't know if Monster Hunter is my thing. I've tried it a few times, but, I mean, it's worth a shot again, but I'm not entirely sure if I will do it. Oh boy, these guys again. Oh! Whew, those explosive chests. You really gotta watch with those. Unfortunately, there's one spot that's gonna be very hard to get to later, and I'm kind of dreading that one. Well, here we go. Boom. Yeah, there's 500 gems in this place, so you got a lot more. I like how you have this area here, because it lets you go through a full loop and figure out where to go if you missed anything. And you don't have to actually backtrack. Isn't that right, Xandor?
Great work, Spyro. If you keep this up, you'll learn all the tricks of the Magic Crafter's world.
That actually sounds like a good idea, TV. I'll consider that at one point. But I would like to at least finish one of these Let's Plays first. So, we gotta fly down here, or glide, sorry. And there's one more thief. But before we do, there's this guy.
Remember that these blue thieves have stolen eggs outside the Magic Crafter's world as well.
Don't worry, I'll take care of them.
Alright, let me see what you said, Sean. Let's see. They made things a bit easier for Ice World, I guess. For one, world in general. Don't have to worry about running out of whetstones. You can re-sharpen your weapons. Same for fishing nets and ice pick. Or pickaxe. Okay, well, that's food for thought. Thanks a lot. Because I find myself, when I played the games before, I always found myself running out of supplies very fast, and I don't like having to buy the extra supplies. Ah, shoot. This guy. But yeah. Spider-Man is definitely an interesting stream idea, TV, and I'll consider it. But I've got to make sure I finish at least one of these other playthroughs first. Jeez, this guy is hard. nut to catch up to. Yes? What? Yeah, they can see me. I was not. I said, jeez. You know I don't use that name in vain. I'm sorry if I'm sorry about that. Alright. Sorry about that. I'm sorry if this gets you dizzy, guys. Ah! Got it! Okay, good. Good. Yeah, these are a pain in the butt. And yeah. You're right. But let me make sure I didn't forget any treasure this way. Alright. Good. Getting close. Alright, this is gonna be the tricky part. Now you gotta be fast with this one. Oh boy. Okay. You really gotta, and this really tests your capabilities with the glide. There we go, 500 gems. 100%. Now, normally you would have to go up there, but there's another way to get to the homeworld. You just pause, go to the guidebook, and then you can just press the X button on whatever world you highlight. So I'm just going to use it here. See? This is a much quicker fast travel. Though you do gotta go through this part. That's the only problem. I forgot if this puts you right outside the portal or not. Either way, you do have to go back and deal with all the enemies. Let's see here. Alright. It looked like the time was kind of slowed for a sec. I don't know why it looked like it paused. Shoot, right back here. And yeah, the thieves will only leave behind those pearls that I called out from the original games. Seems if you already got the egg. Alright, Sean. Got the goat. Nah, I'm not gonna go after him. He's not worth it. Next up, we got the High Caves. This is gonna be fun. 3,800. Nice. We're getting closer. Oh, I realized we passed about a quarter of the first the main Dragon World gens just a little while ago. So, well, fifth? Oh, no, fourth. 3,000 is fourth. We're getting close to the third mark. I don't have any recommended order right now. Maybe just start with the parachuters and the... I guess parachuters, but they also got the snowmobiles. Ice skaters, arches, and then the... I think it's the sea servants, or just do whatever comes naturally to you, whatever speed you get. Whew. Now, as a heads up, do not go in here yet. You do not have the skills capable of taking out these armored bugs. Seriously, you try anything like that, and you do that. kind of see that too, Pika. This game actually has a grand total of 1,400 gems, but I mean, it's kind of hinted at the beginning. Though they only say they are 12,000 when you talk exclusively from the main worlds before you get 120%. Watch out for these tornadoes. Oof. Sorry, Muck. Hey, Osiris. Good to see you again.
Please do something about these green druids. They insist on moving everything in sight.
Oof. Trust me, I will. But before we do, there's another spot I want to get to. Let's see here. But yeah. At the beginning of the game, they'll tell you that there's a certain number of worlds and gems. So, they say there's 5 main dragon worlds, 6 if you count Nasty's world, and before you get 120%, it's 12,000 gems. Then and when you do 120%, it's 14,000. Oh, yeah, that snaps back in place. No. Don't worry. There really are no sheep harmed in the making of this game. Oof. Again, few Norks, no sheep. Let's see. I thought there was something in here. Hello. Sorry, buddy. If I could just... I can't get that. I think there was a skill point if you do this. Yep. Got it. Okay, so... definitely an tricky area to get through here, but this is one of the few safer zones that you got in this game. Because if you drop these 3 fairies down here, will save your butt. And again, those spiders are annoying. Oof, no idea.
I hate those bugs. When I become big and strong like you, I'll squash them all.
Until then, remember that supercharge makes you invincible.
Thanks again, Ajax. And yeah, Pika, I can see, and going back on what you said earlier, I can see that Spyro will be, if he got into Smash, it would have to be Arson's as the primary home world, or stage for him. But I got a feeling that in order to try and get as much reference to him as they can, they may as well do something like, do a combo world, like maybe there'd be some portals or something involved. I don't know, that's my best guess. But yeah, you got these to take care of. Yeah, so there's all that. And there's the blasted thief again. Get ready, you might get a little dizzy. The problem with this game's charging mechanic when you're chasing thieves is because it's not as smooth as the original game. I mean, it is technically smooth, but I mean, you don't get a lot of snappy timing like you're trying to Tokyo Drift. This is where I found one of the most difficult parts of the game, and I had to do that in order to get to the thieves. Like, if they jumped off a cliff, I would have to actually get them mid-fall, because otherwise they're gonna run away on me. Nice cave, though. That is true. I heard about that, Pika. That was actually part of the Spyro MMO idea that ended up getting scrapped before turning to Skylanders. Because that was going to get even darker than Legend of Spyro was. Thanks, girls. And this is the supercharge point that they usually set you up with. And here's the base part. Ooh! Normally I would have cleared that better. I really like, for the record, The original version of this dragon I liked more because he had more energy in what he was talking about. Cedric here, though? Eh.
Try combining your supercharge with jumping and gliding, and really explore the high caves.
Yeah, he's more an intellectual. Nothing wrong with that, but I just kind of miss the enthusiasm of the original Cedric. Now I'm gonna get these gliding things out of the way to kind of avoid the hassle. Thanks again. So, jump. Alright. There's a lot of places that people may miss first time around if they don't do enough exploring. Again, this area is safe thanks to these three. You don't lose lives because they save your butt. So we do jump and glide. Ignitus, but yes, it's not Ignis. I don't know where. Was that a typo, or did you honestly think he was called Ignis? Because yeah, I think that was kind of the idea when trying to go for the theming of the dragons in each of these worlds. Ah, rat. Thanks again, girls. Well, that's fair. Now this has got to be the tricky part, because there's one area that you need to get to in order to start getting at these bugs. And it's a real pain in the butt, so you gotta move fast! And you gotta get to this druid before he closes it up. Get this area next. And this is the yeah, and this is the game's first instance in the franchise's entire first instance of the super flame power-up. This isn't anywhere near the fireball that the later games would produce. But it definitely is a nice change of pace. And kind of showing off how this version was different from the original, or later versions. Spyro glows pink instead of ink. Instead of, like, red later. I got a feeling they might kind of satisfy a lot of fans. It's gonna be hard to tell, though. Now, you gotta make sure you charge to get the rest of the bugs. Again, these things are on a timer. Also like how they at least give you the courtesy of any timer in this version. Ah, shoot, I missed it. Well, that cleared out this cave anyway. Alright, in Icy Speedway, you're gonna have to destroy an igloo to find Hunter. You know, at one point, I actually thought I had to supercharge my way through here. Ah, shoot. Looks like I may have to do that. Because it's not always fast enough to get through here. Now, if only I could get in here with the supercharge. I'm sorry if I'm silent. This is really a tricky thing to handle. Now. Let me see if I actually can get through there and hit that bug. Yes! You can! Now there's only... how many more gems? I must have missed some somewhere in here. Alright, yeah, but considering the game that he's talking about, Muck, I feel bad for the guy. Yeah, we're returning home. Now, before we head off to Wizard Peak, or the boss, we're gonna go to the first flight stage that many kids would have found first. Now, I hope I can get through this in time to help Mom with her thing. I'm just gonna ignore some of those guys, since we already beat them. Off to Crystal Flight. Hero's Tale was okay. They tried to put Spyro in a different direction, but it wasn't a direction I was exactly a fan of, honestly. It was just okay, at best. They tried to do something different, but it didn't work out in my mind. But yeah, this stage was likely the first of the flight stages that kids would have gotten through. And it would have been the easiest. Here, though, my goodness, they really went wild with some of the stuff. Now, in the original game, when they developed these stages, they actually, the gliding, the developers at Insomniac actually got help from a NASA developer of sorts to help with the designs and making sure Spyro could fly proper. Kind of, like, gliding anyway. It made it feel like, how do I put it? It made him actually feel like he was flying like a spacecraft. Ah, I'm sorry, Kula. Brat. So close. The planes are going to be the hardest part of this one, I can tell. I'm sure there's a faster way to do this, but if anybody is watching this after the fact, please, feel free to let me know. Because I have no idea right now. And keep in mind, when kids first played the original version of this would have been the easy flight stage to do. The easiest one. It's a matter of patience now. I should have hit that one guy on the plane. Yeah, that's the hard part. Where is he? Got him! Ugh. Last second, too. Yeah. Good thing I know a lot of these earlier ones by memory, because... yeah, good one. These early... the flight stages for these games, like the first one, they're a lot easier, trust me. When you get to later stages, the other games in this trilogy, oh boy, is that gonna be hard. I'm kind of dreading those later ones, actually. Now, in Spyro 3, I suspect the flight stages are going to be the worst. For at least for streaming. Wizard Peak, here we go. Fun fact, they actually, because Stuart Copeland was the composer for the old show from Nickelodeon, The Amanda Show, they actually got, he actually remixed the Spyro theme from Wizard Peak to do the outro, or just theme for The Amanda Show. Oof. Something in my eye. Terrible time for the eyelash. Well, you at least got to see Spyro get zapped. Now, I'm backtracking here just because there's an area that you need to get to in order to finish this. Not that I'm aware of. But it is cool to note whenever you hear familiar artists do music for something that you like. Ah, darn it, eyelash again. So, just getting this out of the way now, so we don't have to backtrack later. So there's two ways you can go. I thought there was one down there. Oh yeah, there is. We'll save that for a little bit. We're not talking Ron Wassman, Monk. I don't know what... or anything with Power Rangers. I don't know what the heck you're thinking of. That is actually kind of cute. I really think if I were going into animation and still had the drive to do that, I really wish I had her. Oof. Yeah. I always found it hard to get up to these areas to get to the ice wizards. So that's why I'm backtracking now, so we don't have to do that later. What? Oh. I didn't even notice that, Mug. I'm sorry. Ugh, gosh. Speaking of... yeah, I can hear the dragon now. I know. I'm on my way. See if I can... Got it! Yeah, sometimes the drop move is actually very helpful here. Okay. Yeah. It's much trickier than the glide to get Maximus back in Dry Canyon. Let's see, did I miss anything? Nope, we're good. Alright. Hello again, Jarvis. Good to see you, my friend.
Welcome to Wizard Peak.
This is my favorite supercharged spot. Use it to bash those wizards.
Yeah, in the original game, it was my favorite too. I feel like they may have changed the sizes of the enemies to make these a little harder, though. Or they changed the hitboxes. Frank. These guys. Now there's one more area you can get to here, but that's going to be a troublesome thing for later. Got it. I'm glad I